Hey there, before we dive in, I want to ask you something important. Have you ever found yourself wondering about someone's past relationships? Maybe you've caught yourself making quick judgments or feeling uneasy when you learn someone has had a few romantic experiences before. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. But here's the thing. What if I told you that a colorful romantic past isn't something to fear or judge, but something to understand and even appreciate? Today we're peeling back the layers on a topic that's often misunderstood, even taboo for some, the hidden signs that show a woman has lived through many romantic chapters, and more importantly, how those experiences shape her into the incredible person she is today. Why does this matter? Because understanding someone's past isn't about digging up dirt or assigning blame. It's about recognizing the journey they've been on, the lessons learned, the heartbreaks healed, the growth achieved. Everyone's past is like a mosaic, sometimes messy, sometimes beautiful, but always a vital part of who they are. You see, society loves to put labels on people with varied romantic histories. But these labels don't tell the full story. They overlook the resilience, the emotional strength, and the wisdom gained from navigating love's ups and downs. When you start to see her past not as a problem, but as a source of strength, you open the door to deeper connection and respect. In this video, we're going to reveal 4 subtle yet powerful indicators that she has a colorful romantic past. Signs that go beyond the surface and speak to her emotional maturity, independence, and confidence. These aren't red flags, they're signals of growth and self-awareness. Maybe you're watching this because you want to better understand your partner, or you're curious about the person you're dating, or maybe you want to embrace your own past without shame. Whatever your reason, this is a safe space to learn, reflect, and gain clarity. By the end of this video, you realize that having a vibrant romantic history is not a flaw, it's a testament to courage. It shows a woman who's loved deeply, lost, healed, and above all, who knows her worth. And if you pay attention to these hidden signs, you'll find yourself appreciating the richness she brings to any relationship. So stick around, because what you're about to discover will change how you see love, history, and the amazing people in your life. Ready to look beyond the surface? Let's get started. Introduction: understanding the past without judgment. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to explore a topic that can sometimes be a bit sensitive or misunderstood. 4 hidden indicators she has a colorful romantic past. Now, before you jump to conclusions, it's important to remember that everyone has a past, and it's that past that often shapes who we become. Having a colorful romantic history is not something to judge or label negatively. Instead, it's a part of someone's journey, a collection of experiences that have helped mold their character, strength, and wisdom. So, what does it mean when we say someone has a colorful romantic past? It means that through their life they have experienced a variety of relationships, emotions, challenges, and lessons. It doesn't mean they are defined by mistakes or failures, quite the opposite. It means they've lived, learned, and grown. The important thing to realize is that a past like this often brings valuable qualities that can make future relationships richer and deeper. In today's world, many people carry preconceived notions or judgments about someone who has had multiple romantic experiences. But here's the truth: judging someone for their past only blocks you from truly understanding and appreciating them. Everyone deserves respect for their journey, no matter how complicated it might seem from the outside. When you meet someone with a colorful romantic history, you're actually meeting a person who has been through a lot. The ups and downs of love, heartbreak, healing, and growth. These experiences often teach resilience, empathy, and emotional intelligence. Qualities that are essential for building strong and meaningful relationships. Throughout this video series, we'll uncover 4 hidden indicators that might suggest someone has a vibrant romantic past. These signs are subtle, not always obvious, but once you learn to recognize them, you'll gain a better understanding of the person you're connecting with, and more importantly, you'll learn to appreciate the value that such a past brings. It's also important to keep in mind that everyone's past is unique. What might be a sign in one person could look different in another. The goal here is not to judge or stereotype, but to foster understanding and compassion. As you watch this, reflect on your own past as well. We all have chapters in our stories that we might consider colorful, times when we learned tough lessons or faced emotional challenges. And just like anyone else, those chapters have contributed to the person you are today. In fact, when you accept your own history without shame or regret, you open the door to authentic connections with others. You become someone who values growth over perfection, who embraces change, and who supports others in their journeys too. So whether you're watching this because you want to better understand a partner, a friend, or even yourself, remember this: a colorful romantic past is a sign of a full, lived life. It shows courage to love, to lose, and to keep moving forward. Stick with me in this series as we break down these hidden indicators one by one. By the end, you'll see how these signs reflect not just past experiences, but strength, wisdom, and the potential for incredible love and connection ahead. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. Indicator 1. She's emotionally independent and comfortable being alone. Welcome back. Now, let's dive into the first hidden indicator that she might have a colorful romantic past: emotional independence and comfort with being alone. This one is often overlooked, but it's incredibly powerful and telling. When a woman has experienced different relationships over time, she often learns something very important. Her happiness and sense of self don't depend on someone else. She realizes that no partner, no matter how wonderful, can complete her or fill a void inside her that only she can fill. This emotional independence is a sign of growth, a beautiful lesson learned through life's ups and downs. You might notice that she doesn't rush to jump into a relationship or cling to one out of fear of loneliness. Instead, she values her own company, enjoys her solitude, and takes time to understand herself deeply. She has learned how to be content alone, and that is a huge indicator that she's been through enough experiences to understand the importance of self-love and self-care. Why is this important? Because emotional independence means she won't settle for less than she deserves. She won't compromise her values or needs just to avoid being alone. She's clear about her boundaries and confident in what she wants from a partner. That clarity often comes from having seen different types of relationships, some that worked, some that didn't, and learning from them all. If you notice, she's not afraid to say no or walk away when things aren't right. Or if she takes time before getting deeply involved with someone new, this can be a strong sign that she's emotionally independent. She knows that rushing or compromising won't lead to lasting happiness. Another part of this emotional independence is her ability to handle her emotions on her own. She's not constantly seeking reassurance or validation from others because she has learned to manage her feelings maturely. This doesn't mean she's cold or detached. Quite the opposite. She can be deeply loving and open, but she balances that with a strong sense of self. When someone has a colorful romantic past, they've often experienced heartbreak or disappointment. Those moments teach resilience. They learn how to pick themselves up and move forward without losing themselves in the process. This resilience is what builds emotional independence. Being comfortable alone also means she doesn't see being single as a failure or something negative. Instead, she embraces it as a valuable time for growth, reflection, and rediscovery. This mindset is not common for everyone, and when you see it, it's a clear sign of someone who has walked a varied path and come out stronger on the other side. So, if you meet a woman who's emotionally self-sufficient, who values her alone time, and who doesn't rush into relationships out of neediness or fear, it's likely she's lived through a colorful romantic history, and instead of seeing this as a problem, recognize it as a gift, because she's bringing a wealth of experience, strength, and emotional maturity to any new relationship. Stay tuned as we uncover the next hidden indicator that reveals more about her past and what it means for your connection. Indicator 2. She's open and honest about her past, but doesn't dwell on it. Alright, welcome back. Let's move on to the second hidden indicator that she might have a colorful romantic past. She's open and honest about her past relationships, but doesn't dwell on them. This is a crucial sign that reveals not just what she's been through, but how she's grown from it. A woman who has experienced multiple relationships or meaningful connections in her life often understands the value of transparency. When you meet someone like this, you'll notice she doesn't shy away from talking about her past. She doesn't avoid questions about her previous partners or the lessons she's learned. Instead, she meets those conversations with honesty, grounded in a mature perspective. Why is this important? Because someone who tries to hide their past or acts defensive when it comes up may be carrying unresolved baggage or guilt. But a woman who's been through varied romantic experiences and come out stronger knows that hiding the truth only limits genuine connection. She understands that being honest about where she's been allows her and her partner to build trust and deeper understanding. However, here's the key. She doesn't live in the past. She doesn't bring up every detail or relive all dramas. Instead, she acknowledges her history briefly and then focuses on the present and future. This balance shows emotional maturity. She recognizes that her past relationships helped shape her, but they don't define her current self or her potential with someone new. You'll notice that she shares her past experiences not as excuses or complaints, but as lessons learned. Maybe she talks about what she discovered about herself, what kind of partner she really wants, or how she grew emotionally. This kind of openness is a sign of someone who has reflected deeply on their romantic journey and has made peace with it. Another thing to watch for is her comfort with boundaries when discussing her past. She'll share what's important and relevant, but won't overshare to the point of making her new partner uncomfortable or insecure. This shows respect for both herself and the relationship she's building. What this tells you is that she's not carrying unnecessary emotional baggage or regrets. Instead, she's aware of her story, accepts it, and moves forward with confidence. She's learned that her past is not something to hide or be ashamed of. It's part of her growth. If she's open and honest, but doesn't dwell on her romantic history, it means she values clarity and truth in her relationships. This kind of transparency is a strong foundation for building trust, because it eliminates guesswork and fear of secrets. You know where you stand with her, and that clarity is priceless. Keep in mind, openness about the past also shows she's ready to be vulnerable, a key ingredient for deep connection. But her ability to not get stuck in the past shows she's resilient and focused on creating something new and meaningful. So, when you notice that she speaks about her past with honesty, calmness, and without getting lost in old stories, it's a clear sign she's lived a colorful, romantic life, one that has prepared her well for a healthy, mature relationship. Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll explore another hidden sign that reveals her romantic history and how it shapes who she is today. Indicator 3. She has a wide social circle that includes past partners or exes. Welcome back. Now let's dive into the third hidden indicator that she has a colorful romantic past. She maintains a wide social circle that includes past partners or exes. This one is subtle but very telling, and understanding it can help you see how her history shapes her present. Many people, when they move on from relationships, tend to cut ties completely with their exes. But a woman who has a colorful romantic past often views her past relationships differently. She understands that some connections, even after romance ends, can evolve into friendships or remain part of her broader social world. This is a sign of emotional maturity and an open heart. If you notice, she frequently talks about old friends who happen to be her exes, or shares stories involving past partners in a casual, friendly way. This is a clue. She probably hasn't erased her past or buried those experiences in secrecy. Instead, she keeps those relationships in a healthy and balanced way. For her, exes aren't enemies or shadows to fear. They're part of her life story. Maintaining friendships with former partners can indicate she values connection and respects the history they shared, even if the romantic chapter has closed. It also shows she's not someone who holds grudges or gets caught in bitterness, traits that often come from someone who's grown through her romantic experiences. Her social circle might be diverse and filled with many types of people, including people she's loved before. This usually means she's comfortable with her past and doesn't feel the need to hide it. She's confident enough in herself and her current relationships to keep those friendships intact without feeling threatened or insecure. This also tells you that she has good communication skills and sets healthy boundaries. Navigating friendships with exes requires clarity and respect, both for herself and for her current partner. She understands that trust is vital and will maintain those past friendships only if they are positive and respectful. Another reason this indicator is important is that it reflects her social skills and emotional intelligence. Someone who has experienced various relationships has likely learned how to relate to different kinds of people. She's adaptable, empathetic, and knows how to handle complex social dynamics. If she invites you to meet her friends, including exes, or if they show up in social gatherings, it means she wants to be open and transparent. She's not hiding anything and feels secure enough to share all parts of her life with you. Of course, this doesn't mean there aren't occasional moments of tension or jealousy, but overall this openness about her social life suggests a healthy approach to her past and present relationships. So when you observe that she has a wide social circle that includes past partners or exes, you're seeing a woman who has lived fully, loved deeply, and learned to keep peace with her romantic history. This level of maturity and openness can be a great foundation for trust and growth in your relationship. Stay tuned for the next part where we'll uncover another subtle sign that she has a colorful romantic past and how to recognize it with clarity. Indicator 4, she shows comfort and confidence when talking about past relationships. Welcome back. We come to the 4th hidden indicator that she has a colorful romantic past. She shows comfort and confidence when talking about past relationships. This one is often overlooked, but speaks volumes about her emotional health and the way she embraces her history. Many people, when discussing past relationships, might feel awkward, defensive, or try to avoid the topic altogether. But a woman who has a rich romantic history and has grown from it typically approaches the subject with ease and self-assurance. She doesn't shy away from sharing stories about her past loves, lessons learned, or even mistakes made. Why is this significant? Because comfort and confidence in discussing past relationships show that she's at peace with her journey. She's not haunted by regrets or stuck in bitterness. Instead, she understands that every relationship, whether short or long, successful or failed, has contributed to who she is today. This acceptance is a sign of maturity and resilience. When she talks about her past, listen closely to her tone and body language. Does she speak openly, with a calm and even proud demeanor? Does she share stories that show how she's grown and what she's learned rather than complaining or blaming? If yes, this is a strong indication she embraces her romantic history as part of her personal growth. Her confidence might come through in various ways. She may laugh at past dating mishaps, describe former partners with kindness rather than resentment, or share the positive traits she discovered in herself through those experiences. This kind of openness means she's not afraid of vulnerability, and she trusts you enough to be honest and transparent. Another important point is that her comfort in talking about past relationships reflects her self-worth. She doesn't feel threatened by her history because she knows it doesn't define her present or future. She's secure enough to be genuine without worrying about judgment or comparison. This attitude also helps create a healthier dynamic in your relationship. When she's open and confident, it encourages you to be the same. It builds a foundation of trust where both partners can share freely without fear or insecurity. It means there's no need for secrets or pretending, just real connection. Keep in mind that sometimes people who avoid or get defensive about their past might be hiding unresolved issues or insecurities. So when you meet a woman who embraces her past with confidence, it's a sign she's done the inner work to heal and move forward. However, this doesn't mean she's perfect or hasn't faced challenges. In fact, her ability to speak confidently about her romantic past often comes from having faced and overcome difficulties, heartbreaks, and lessons. That strength is what makes her unique and capable of loving deeply. In summary, if you notice she talks about past relationships with comfort and confidence, sharing her story without shame or fear, you're witnessing a woman who owns her past and uses it to empower her future. This kind of openness and self-assurance is a powerful indicator of her colorful romantic history and emotional maturity. Stay tuned for the final part, where we'll reveal one last subtle sign that will help you fully understand her past and appreciate her present. Bonus insight: she values growth over perfection. Welcome to the final part of our deep dive into the hidden indicators that reveal she has a colorful romantic past. So far, we've talked about the signs that show her history is rich and varied, from her openness and confidence about past relationships to subtle hints in her behavior and attitude. Now, here's a bonus insight that ties everything together. She values growth over perfection. This is a crucial mindset that often separates those who are stuck in the past from those who have truly evolved through their experiences. A woman with a colorful romantic history understands that relationships aren't about being flawless or having a perfect record. Instead, it's about learning, adapting, and becoming a better version of herself with every chapter of her love life. When you meet a woman who embraces growth over perfection, you'll notice that she doesn't dwell on mistakes or regrets. She acknowledges her past, but doesn't let it define or limit her. Instead, she uses her experiences, both good and bad, as stepping stones for self-improvement. This approach shows a high level of emotional intelligence and maturity. You might hear her say things like, "I've learned a lot from my past," or "Every relationship taught me something valuable." These statements reveal a mindset that is focused on progress rather than dwelling on flaws. She recognizes that no relationship is perfect, and that imperfection is part of the human experience. This value for growth also shows in how she handles challenges and setbacks in her current relationship. Instead of reacting with blame or defensiveness, she is more likely to engage in honest conversations, seek understanding, and work toward solutions. Her colorful past has prepared her to be more patient, empathetic, and resilient. Another sign of this mindset is her attitude toward herself. She's kind and forgiving when reflecting on her own faults. She knows that everyone makes mistakes, and rather than beating herself up, she chooses to learn and move forward. This self-compassion is essential for building healthy relationships because it creates space for vulnerability and genuine connection. Her value for growth over perfection also means she's not afraid to set boundaries and prioritize her well-being. She understands that healthy relationships require respect and balance. If something isn't right, she speaks up or walks away, instead of settling for less than she deserves. This strength often comes from having experienced different kinds of relationships and knowing what she truly wants. In essence, when a woman values growth over perfection, it shows that her colorful romantic past has been a journey of transformation. It means she's not hiding from her history, but actively using it to create a better future. This is a powerful trait that brings depth, wisdom, and authenticity to any relationship she enters. So as you reflect on everything we've covered, from the hidden signs in her behavior to her confident conversations about the past, remember that at the core is her commitment to growth. She's someone who embraces life's lessons and isn't afraid to evolve. Thank you for joining me in exploring these 4 hidden indicators, plus this bonus insight that reveal when she has a colorful romantic past. Recognizing these signs can help you understand her better, appreciate her complexity, and build a stronger, more meaningful connection. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more motivational and insightful content that helps you navigate relationships and life with confidence. As we wrap up this deep dive into the hidden signs of a woman's colorful romantic past, I want you to pause and reflect on what we've uncovered today. We started by recognizing that everyone carries a past, a mosaic of experiences, lessons, heartbreaks, and growth. And it's precisely this journey that shapes who she is today. Resilient, emotionally mature, and empowered. Or too often society rushes to judge or label someone based on their romantic history, missing the richness and depth that comes from those lived experiences. But when you begin to see her past not as a series of mistakes or baggage, but as chapters of courage and growth, you unlock a powerful new perspective. You start to appreciate the emotional independence she has cultivated, the honesty she brings to the table, and the strength it takes to maintain healthy connections even with those from her past. Remember, emotional independence isn't just about being alone. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It's about valuing yourself so much that you don't cling out of fear or loneliness, but stand tall with confidence and grace. That is a gift, both for her and for the person fortunate enough to be in her life now. We also explored how openness about the past, balanced with the wisdom not to dwell on it, reveals a woman who has made peace with her journey. She doesn't hide or run from her history, but embraces it honestly, using it as a foundation to build trust and deeper connections. This kind of transparency is rare and precious because it invites authenticity into every relationship. And then there's the subtle but telling sign of her wide social circle, including past partners, which shows her emotional maturity and ability to maintain respect and healthy boundaries. This openness speaks volumes about her confidence and the peace she's made with her story. It's a reminder that life is not about erasing the past, but integrating it to move forward with strength and grace. So if you find yourself tempted to judge or fear a colorful romantic history, I challenge you to shift your perspective. See it for what it really is. A testament to bravery, resilience, and growth. And if you're the woman watching this, know that your past does not define you, but empowers you. Your experiences have shaped your wisdom, your boundaries, and your heart's capacity to love fully and fiercely. In the end, every past experience is a stepping stone on the path to the extraordinary love and connection you deserve. Embrace it, learn from it, and most importantly, never be ashamed of the woman you have become, because she is strong, she is worthy, and she is ready for the beautiful chapters yet to come. Thank you for being here, for opening your mind and heart, and for choosing understanding over judgment. Remember, real love begins when we honor the whole person, past, present, and future. Until next time, keep growing, keep loving, and keep shining your light. You've got this.